Hi everyone, so here we are again with another alumni chat. This time I'm joined with one of our alumni from our South Africa Social and Political Transformation Program. Casey, would you like to take a moment to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Casey Haffield. I go to Creighton University in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm majoring in social work and I studied abroad the spring semester of 2016.
Well, thank you very much again for taking some time with us. I'm glad that we were able to get the technical snafus working. So now, there are many opportunities to study abroad in South Africa. So what made you choose the South Africa SIT program in particular?
I chose this program because I really liked that it focused on social and political transformation, which is a topic that's very important as a social worker to understand how social and political processes change and what their dynamics are and how they're related to one another. I also liked the descriptions of all the classes. They sounded super interesting, and the fact that it was a smaller program and it wasn't through a university, so it could be tailored to the study abroad experience specifically.
Well, thank you very much for that. So you mentioned a bunch of different aspects about the SIT South Africa program there. So if you had to choose one aspect of it, what would that be and why?
Like, what aspect was my favorite? I would say that I really liked the fact that it's an independent program. I mean, I loved everything about it, but that really allowed our instructors to make it more about field learning rather than only classroom learning, which is what I experienced at college. We were able to go on a trip to Mozambique, which was really cool, and I don't think we would have been able to do that in a typical university study abroad program. And we were able to go out into the community and visit NGOs, and I just thought it was really cool to get to know lots about the culture and the area and what was going on, more so than just a lecture classroom setting.
And what did you think about the excursion to Mozambique?
Oh, I loved it. It was great. It was definitely different than Durban. There's, as we talked about in our class, an Afro-Latino culture present in Mozambique, and that was just super fascinating, being able to compare and contrast that with South Africa and understand how the two were related in their liberation histories. So I loved that trip.
That sounds amazing. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Mozambique, so I spent 3 years living around Maputo.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a wonderful country. So now to get back to your experience a little more, with the trip to Mozambique, and as you saw there, we really do the experiential learning environment, which we purposefully keep our programs small, so our programs can really experience the education there in a personal, private manner, or personalized manner. Anyway, so that makes it really difficult for our name to get out there. So how would you explain SIT to someone who hasn't heard of us before?
I guess I would explain it as an experiential learning study abroad experience that really focuses on learning everything you can about the community you're going to, like culturally, socially, politically, everything there is to offer in your host country. I think SIT does a wonderful job of providing you experiences that really let you get to know the country, including the host family experiences, which were super influential for me and all of the people in my group. Yeah, I would just say it's a very holistic way to study abroad.
Well, that sounds good. You mentioned the independent study part of the project. Do you care to delve a little deeper into what you studied?
Yes, I'm very interested in theology. And so for my topic, with some guidance, I looked into a social service agency in Durban. And at this agency, there's lots of religious diversity among the volunteers. And so I interviewed people about how their faith impacts what they do and their motivation to do the volunteer work, and how they can coexist even though in other parts of the world there are religious tensions between their religions.
And have you been continuing that study now that you've returned to your home university?
I have not been continuing the study, but it definitely has helped me see people and just shaped my perspective into something where I understand people a lot better, or can try to understand them a lot better, whereas I wouldn't necessarily have even thought to think of people in a certain way before I had the opportunity to do this project.
That is really good, and I appreciate your straightforwardness there. So now, as we come to the end of the interview today, is there anything that you want to say that we haven't touched upon, or that you think would give the prospective student out there a little extra push to press the submit button?
I guess like just part of my study abroad journey, or how I ended up studying abroad, I was going to originally be in a different program in Durban. I didn't know about SIT, and then that program fell through, and so I was pretty crushed, but then I found SIT and it seemed like a perfect fit, and I'm just 100% positive that studying abroad with SIT in the program that I did was one of the best decisions that I've ever made. It changed my life. It changed the way I see things. I made lifelong connections with people, the other students there and the people in South Africa. So definitely one of the best decisions I've ever made. So hopefully that's helpful if you need the extra push.
I think it definitely is helpful. I'm going to go fill out my application now. But again, thank you very much for persevering through the technical difficulties, and I'm glad we had this chance to talk today. So you have a good rest of your afternoon.
All right, thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.